I was wiping down the grease trap when my phone buzzed. The screen showed a notification from Instagram. My daughter Natalie was going live. I almost kept scrolling, but something made me tap it. There she was, in her backyard, surrounded by her friends, and their laughter echoing off the pool water. The Arizona sun was brutal that afternoon, making everything shimmer. I didn't know yet that in 72 hours, that same pool would be drained by the property management company I owned through a shell LLC. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My hands were still wet from the sink when I heard her voice through my phone speaker. "Oh my God, you guys, you won't believe who just texted me." She was holding her phone to the camera, but I couldn't see the screen. Her friend Becca, the one with the designer sunglasses, leaned in. "Who?" "My dad." Natalie laughed, and it wasn't the warm laugh I remembered from when she was 7 and I'd push her on the swings at Desert Ridge Park. This was different, sharp. "He wants to know if I need anything from the hardware store. Like, can you imagine? My mom's husband Todd just bought her a Range Rover, and my dad is asking if I need, what did he say? A new shower head or some WD-40. The number in the corner showed 47,000 people watching live. I set my phone down carefully on the workbench, not the cluttered garage workbench in some apartment complex, but the custom oak desk in my private office in the Biltmore area, where I'd been reviewing quarterly reports from my property portfolio. The maintenance uniform I was wearing wasn't a costume exactly. I did own a maintenance company, 47 buildings across the Phoenix metro area, to be exact. I just happened to own them rather than clean them. But Natalie didn't know that. Her mother Linda didn't know that. And Todd, with his 3 car dealerships that were mortgaged to the hilt, definitely didn't know that. Let me back up. I'm Richard Morrison, and I'm 62 years old. I married Linda when I was 28 and she was 25. We had Natalie a year later. Back then, I was actually working maintenance. I was good with my hands, good with fixing things, and I saved every penny. When the housing market crashed in 2008, I had $180,000 in the bank. I bought 4 foreclosed properties in Tempe for pennies on the dollar. I fixed them up myself, nights and weekends, while still working my day job. Rented them out, bought 4 more, then 8 more. By 2015, I had 32 properties. Linda left me that same year. She said I worked too much, that I was never home, that she was tired of being married to a maintenance man who smelled like pipe cleaner and came home with grease under his fingernails. She'd met Todd at a charity event her sister dragged her to. Todd drove a BMW, wore designer suits, took her to Scottsdale restaurants where the entrees cost more than I used to make in a day. She wanted that life. The divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences. I gave her the house. It was paid off, worth about $420,000. I gave her $3,000 a month in alimony, even though Arizona law didn't require it. I gave her joint custody of Natalie, who was 16 at the time, and I kept my mouth shut about the properties. My lawyer had set everything up through LLCs years before. On paper, I was just Richard Morrison, maintenance supervisor, making $52,000 a year. The properties were owned by Desert Holdings LLC, Mountain View Properties LLC, Sonoran Investments LLC, all with different registered agents, all completely legal. Linda married Todd 6 months after our divorce was final. She called me once, drunk, to tell me how happy she was, how Todd made her feel valued, how he was a real man with ambition. I said I was happy for her, and I meant it. I wanted her to be happy, even if it wasn't with me. Natalie was a different story. She was angry about the divorce, but she channeled it into her phone. She started an Instagram account her junior year of high school. Fashion, lifestyle, affordable luxury tips. She was pretty and photogenic and good at it. By the time she graduated, she had 50,000 followers. Now, at 26, she had 890,000. She made money from it too. Sponsored posts, affiliate links, brand partnerships, or at least she thought she did. What Natalie didn't know was that about 60% of her income came from me, the sponsor who paid her $4,500 a month to feature home goods. That was one of my companies. The brand partnership with a local boutique that gave her $2,000 worth of clothes monthly? I owned the building the boutique leased. The owner was happy to play along in exchange for below-market rent. The affiliate commissions from her Amazon links? I had 3 employees who bought products through her links every month, about $1,800 worth. On top of that, I paid her rent directly, $2,400 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment in Tempe. I paid her car payment, $680 a month for a white BMW 3 Series. Insurance, $240. Phone, $120. I sent her $1,500 a month as allowance, which she thought was alimony money that Linda shared with her. All told, I was putting about $13,000 a month into Natalie's lifestyle. Why? Because I loved my daughter. Because I thought if I gave her everything, she'd eventually see that I cared, that I was still her dad, that the divorce wasn't about her. I thought money could bridge the gap that I didn't know how to cross with words. I was wrong. The live stream continued. Becca was laughing now. Wait, your dad is like a janitor or something, right? Maintenance supervisor. Natalie corrected, using air quotes with her fingers. Very important distinction. He fixes toilets and changes light bulbs. More laughter from the group. The viewer count was up to 63,000. Comments were rolling in. Most were laughing, crying emojis. Some were sympathetic. That's mean girl energy, one said. Natalie didn't see it, or didn't care. The best part, Natalie continued, is that he still thinks he's, like, teaching me life lessons. He sent me this long text last month about living within your means and building real equity. Like, okay, Dad, thanks for the advice from your studio apartment in Mesa. I didn't live in a studio apartment in Mesa. I lived in a 4-bedroom house in Paradise Valley that I'd bought for $1.8 million cash. But I'd never invited Natalie over. I'd never corrected her assumptions. I kept meeting her at coffee shops, showing up in my work uniform, driving my 2015 Toyota Tacoma. The Tacoma was real. I liked it. It was reliable. The uniform was real too. I did still work on properties sometimes, when I wanted to think, or when a problem needed hands-on attention. But the studio apartment? That was her assumption. I'd let her believe it. My office phone rang. It was James Chen, my property manager. Richard, we've got a situation with the Tempe property on University. Tenant wants to break lease early. Which unit? 2-bedroom, 2nd floor. The Morrison unit. That was Natalie's apartment. What's the reason? Didn't give one. Just said she needs to be out by end of month. Willing to forfeit the deposit. I looked at my computer screen, pulled up the file. Natalie's lease had been renewed 3 months ago, 12-month term. She was on the hook for 9 more months at $2,400 a month, or $21,600. If she broke it, she'd lose her $2,400 deposit and owe 2 months' rent as penalty, another $4,800. Tell her we'll hold her to the lease terms, I said. Standard penalty applies. You got it. I hung up and went back to the live stream. Natalie had moved on to showing off her outfit, a cream-colored linen set that cost $340 from a brand that I knew was one of her sponsors. She mentioned them by name, talked about the quality, spun around for the camera, told her followers to use code Natalie20 for 20% off. My phone buzzed again. This time a text from Linda. Can you call me? It's about Natalie's birthday. Natalie would be 27 in 2 weeks. I texted back. What did you have in mind? Todd and I are throwing her a party at our house, Sunday the 18th, 3 p.m. You're invited if you want to come. I stared at that message for a long time. You're invited if you want to come. Not, please come, or Natalie would love to see you. Just a courtesy invitation, the kind you extend to someone you hope will decline. I typed, I'll be there. What should I bring? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, just yourself is fine. I watched the live stream for another 10 minutes. Natalie talked about her skincare routine, her morning smoothie recipe, her upcoming collaboration with a local photographer. She took questions from viewers. Someone asked about her family. She smiled. The practiced influencer smile. My mom and stepdad are amazing. They've been so supportive of my journey. My dad, he tries. He's just not really part of this world, you know? The live stream ended. The viewer count had peaked at 78,000. I closed my laptop and sat in my office for a while. The sun was setting outside, painting the desert sky in shades of orange and purple. I thought about the first time I'd taken Natalie to South Mountain. She was 5. We'd hiked up to Dobbin's Lookout and watched the sunset. She'd held my hand the whole way down because she was scared of the dark. I'd carried her the last quarter mile when her legs got tired. When did I become the embarrassment? When did tries become the best she could say about me? I opened my laptop again, pulled up the spreadsheet I kept on Natalie's expenses. Every payment, every sponsor, every rent check, documented and dated. I'd been doing this for 8 years. Since she turned 18 and moved out. $13,000 a month for 96 months. $1,248,000. $1.2 million to support a lifestyle that she used to mock me on the internet. I made a decision then. Not out of anger, though I was angry. Not out of spite, though I won't pretend I didn't feel that too. But out of something else. The realization that I'd been enabling something toxic, that my money had fed her contempt instead of bridging it. I opened my email and started typing. The first email went to James Chen. Effective immediately, I'm stopping all payments to Natalie Morrison. Rent, car, everything. Give her standard 30-day notice that we won't be renewing lease at current arrangement. Market rate for that unit is $3,200. If she wants to stay, that's the new rate. The second email went to Sarah Mitchell, who ran my fake sponsorship company. End all contracts with Natalie Morrison. No more payments. Professional, but firm. Budget reallocation, if she asks why. The third email went to Patricia Velasquez at the boutique. No more free clothes for Natalie. If she comes in, she pays like everyone else. The fourth email went to my 3 employees who did the Amazon purchases. Stop the affiliate purchases, effective immediately. The fifth email went to my bank. Stop the monthly transfer of $1,500 to Natalie Morrison. Close the authorization. I sent them all. Then I closed my laptop, changed out of my uniform, and drove home to Paradise Valley. I grilled a steak, drank a beer on my back patio, and watched the lights of Phoenix spread out below me like a circuit board. My phone rang at 1 p.m. Linda. I let it go to voicemail. She called again at 11:15, again at 11:30. Finally, I answered. What did you do? She said. Not hello, not how are you, just accusation. I don't know what you're talking about. Natalie's rent check bounced. Her car payment bounced. Her phone bill bounced. She's panicking. She called me crying. What did you do, Richard? I took a sip of my beer. I stopped paying for things. You can't just stop. She has bills. She has commitments. She's 26 years old, Linda. She has 890,000 Instagram followers and multiple sponsors. She should be fine. Don't do this. Don't punish her because you're bitter about the divorce. This has nothing to do with you. Then what? What is this about? I thought about telling her. About the live stream, the mocking, the embarrassment. But what would be the point? It's about teaching her to stand on her own. By pulling the rug out from under her with no warning? I gave her 8 years of warning. I told her every year to save money, to build equity, to live within her means. She ignored me. She called me a janitor on the internet today. To 78,000 people. Silence on the line. Then, Richard. She didn't mean. Yes, she did. And that's fine. She's an adult. She can think whatever she wants about me. But I'm also an adult, and I don't have to fund it. You're really going to do this? Right before her birthday? Her birthday is in 2 weeks. That gives her time to figure things out. Richard, please. I'm asking you, don't do this to her. Then you pay for it. More silence. Longer this time. I can't. Todd and I, we're stretched thin right now. Then I guess she'll have to figure it out herself. I hung up. Linda called back twice. I didn't answer. Then a text. You're being cruel. I turned off my phone and went to bed. Day 1 was a Thursday. Natalie's rent check bounced on Friday. Her car payment bounced on Saturday. By Monday, she'd received the lease non-renewal notice and the new rate sheet. Market rate, $3,200 per month. Her sponsor contracts were terminated Sunday evening with a form email about shifting marketing priorities. Tuesday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls, 12 from Natalie, 5 from Linda. Text messages filled my screen. I read them over coffee. From Natalie, Dad, what's happening? My rent bounced, and they're saying I owe $2,400 deposit plus $4,800 penalty. Dad, please call me. Why is my car payment bounced? My bank called. Dad, I'm freaking out, please. Are you okay? I'm worried something happened. Dad, please. From Linda. Richard, answer your phone. This is ridiculous. You're acting like a child. Natalie is having a panic attack. She can't breathe. I'm taking her to urgent care. Are you happy now? I wasn't happy. I felt sick, actually. But I also felt something else. Resolve. I texted Natalie back. I'm fine. We should talk. Can you meet me at Phoenix Coffee Roasters at 2 p.m.? She replied immediately. Yes, thank you. I'll be there. I arrived early, ordered my usual black coffee, sat at a table by the window. Natalie rushed in at 2:07, her hair in a messy bun, wearing sweatpants and a tank top. I'd never seen her in public without full makeup and a curated outfit. She looked young, scared. She sat down across from me, and her eyes were red. Dad, what's going on? Everything is bouncing. My landlord says I have to pay $7,200 or move out. My car loan company called and said if I don't pay by Friday, they'll repo the car. My sponsors all dropped me on the same day. I don't understand what's happening. I took a sip of my coffee. I stopped paying your bills. Her face went pale. What? I've been paying your rent, your car, your phone, your allowance, and about 60% of what you thought was sponsor income. I stopped all of it on Friday. She stared at me like I was speaking a foreign language. That's not. You don't. You're a maintenance supervisor. You don't have that kind of money. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, turned the screen to face her. The balance showed $847,293.42. That was just my personal checking account. The business accounts had much more. She looked at the screen, looked at me, looked back at the screen. I don't understand. I own Desert Holdings, Mountain View Properties, and Sonoran Investments, among others. 47 buildings across Phoenix Metro. The building you live in, I own it. The BMW you drive, I've been making the payments. The sponsors you thought were paying you, most of them were me, through shell companies. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Why? Because I loved you. Because I wanted you to have a good life. Because I thought, if I gave you everything, you'd eventually understand that I cared. Then why stop? Why now? I pulled up the Instagram live stream on my phone. I'd screen recorded it. I hit play, turned up the volume just loud enough for her to hear her own voice. My dad is asking if I need a new shower head or some WD-40. I let it play. The laughter, the mocking. Becca's question. Your dad is like a janitor or something, right? Maintenance supervisor. Very important distinction. I stopped the video, set my phone down. 78,000 people. Natalie, you told 78,000 people that I'm an embarrassment, that I'm not part of your world, that I try, but not hard enough. Tears started rolling down her face. Dad, I didn't know. I thought you actually were. A loser? A failure? Someone to be embarrassed about? No. Yes. I don't know, Mom said. She said you never wanted more for yourself, that you were content being mediocre, that you didn't have ambition. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Your mother left me for a man who owns 3 car dealerships that are mortgaged for more than they're worth. Todd is $2.3 million in debt. His cash flow is negative. He drives a BMW he can't afford and lives in a house that's one bad quarter away from foreclosure. I know because I looked into buying his debt when one of his lenders tried to sell it to me. Natalie's face was white. No, that's not. Todd bought Mom a Range Rover. He takes her to Europe, on credit cards. All of it. Your mother doesn't know because Todd is good at looking successful, just like I'm apparently good at looking like a failure. She put her face in her hands. Her shoulders shook. I wanted to reach across the table, to tell her it was okay, to fix it like I'd always fixed things. But I didn't. What do I do? She finally asked, her voice muffled. You have $7,200 due by end of week, or you lose your apartment. You have a car payment due Friday, or they repossess. You have a phone bill, utilities, insurance. You need to figure out what your actual income is and make a plan. I can't afford all that. My real sponsor income is like $3,000 a month. My affiliate commissions were like $1,800. But half of that was you. About 60%. So I actually make like $3,700 a month. The rent alone is $2,400, and now they're saying $3,200. Dad, I can't do this. I need help. Then get help. Move in with your mother. Get a roommate. Get a regular job. Sell the BMW and buy a Honda. People live on $3,700 a month all the time. They just don't live like you've been living. Why are you doing this? She looked up at me, mascara running down her face. Is this punishment? No, it's parenting. Something I should have done a long time ago. I gave you everything, and all it taught you was that things come easy, that you don't have to respect the people who make your life possible, that you can mock your father to strangers and still cash his checks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll delete the video. I'll post an apology. I don't want an apology on Instagram, Natalie. I don't want a performance. I want you to understand what I just told you. You've been living on $13,000 a month while thinking you earned $8,000. You called me embarrassing while I paid for your embarrassment-free life. You told 78,000 people I was a failure while I was succeeding specifically for you. She was sobbing now. Hard, gasping sobs. The barista looked over, concerned. I felt like the worst person in the world. But I also felt something else, a kind of clarity. When you can stand on your own, I said quietly. When you've lived on your actual income for a full year. When you understand what it takes to pay your own rent and your own bills and build your own life without my money propping you up, then we can talk about our relationship. Until then, I love you, but I'm done enabling you. I stood up, put a 20 on the table for her coffee. The Tacoma out front is registered in your name now. Title's in the glove box. It's paid off. Sell the BMW and use the equity for your deposits. The Tacoma is reliable. It'll get you where you need to go. I walked out. She called after me, but I kept walking. I got into my Tesla, the one I'd never shown her, and drove home. The next 2 weeks were hard. Natalie called every day. I didn't answer. Linda called, furious, threatening to sue me for something. I wasn't sure what. Emotional distress, maybe. Todd called once, trying to man me about family responsibility. I told him to focus on his own balance sheet and hung up. I heard through the grapevine James Chen, who had a loose tongue, that Natalie had moved in with 3 roommates in a converted house in Tempe. Rent, $800 a month. She'd sold the BMW, got $6,400 for it after the loan payoff. Used $5,000 for various deposits and back payments. Kept $1,400 for emergencies. She was driving the Tacoma. She'd gotten a part-time job at Lululemon. Employee discount helped with her brand. Her Instagram posts changed. Fewer outfit photos, more real talk content. One post, about 2 weeks after our coffee shop conversation, showed her in the Tacoma with the caption, "My dad gave me this truck and told me it would get me where I need to go. He was right, but not in the way I thought. Sometimes the gift isn't the thing, it's the lesson." Number growing up, number real talk. It got 240,000 likes. Her follower count went up to 950,000. I didn't like or comment. Natalie's birthday party at Linda's house was on Sunday, the 18th. I drove up in the Tesla. It was the first time I'd been to Linda's house since the divorce. Todd had done well with the appearance. Manicured lawn, fountain in the front, 4-car garage. Only 2 cars in it, though. The BMW and the Range Rover. The other 2 bays were empty. I knew Todd had sold his Porsche 3 months ago. Cash flow problems. Natalie's face, when I pulled up, was priceless. She'd been standing by the front door, greeting people. Her eyes went wide. She said something to the girl next to her and walked over as I got out. "Is that yours?" she asked, staring at the Tesla Model S. "It is." "How many cars do you have?" "3. The Tesla, a 1967 Mustang. I restored myself. And a Ford F-150 for when I need to haul." She laughed, but it was shaky. "You really are full of surprises. Happy birthday, Natalie. Thanks for coming." I handed her a card. Inside was a check for $1,000 and a note. "For your emergency fund. Proud of you for taking the first steps. Love, Dad." She opened it, read it, and started crying. Then she hugged me, hard, in the driveway. I hugged her back. The party was awkward. Linda barely spoke to me. Todd tried to talk shop about real estate until I mentioned I owned the building his main dealership leased. He got quiet after that. Natalie's friends were polite but distant. I stayed for an hour, ate a piece of cake, and left. 6 months later, Natalie called me. Actually called, not texted. I answered. "Dad? Do you have time to talk?" "I do. I just signed a lease on my own apartment. 1 bedroom in downtown Phoenix. $1,400 a month. I can afford it on my own. My real income is up to $5,200 a month. I got a promotion at Lululemon, and 3 of my sponsors came back with real contracts after they saw my engagement go up. That's wonderful, sweetheart. I wanted to ask, would you want to have dinner? At my place? I'll cook." "Well, I'll try to cook. I'm not very good yet." I smiled. "I'd love that." We had dinner the following week. She made spaghetti. It was overcooked and the sauce was from a jar, but she was proud of it. We talked for 3 hours. Really talked. She asked about my business. I told her. She asked about the divorce. I told her the truth. Not the version Linda had given her, but what actually happened. She asked if I was mad at her. "I was never mad," I said. "I was disappointed. But I was also disappointed in myself. I taught you the wrong lessons. I taught you that money came easy and that respect was optional. That's on me. Can we start over?" she asked. "We don't need to start over. We just need to start being honest." A year later, Natalie hit 1 million followers. She posted a photo of us together, me in jeans and a work shirt, her in casual clothes, at a job site for one of my new properties. The caption read, "My dad taught me everything about hard work. I just wasn't ready to listen. Here's to the man who loved me enough to let me fail so I could learn to stand. Number Father's Day, number gratitude, number real success." It got 680,000 likes. I framed it and put it on my desk in my office. Not because of the likes, but because of the look on her face in the photo. Real pride, real happiness, real respect. That was worth more than all the money I'd spent, and all the money I'd saved by stopping.